Old guys talking about new music, trying not to lose it. Alcohol and booze it, cause we're old guys talking about new music.
Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to Old Music, your favorite podcast that tries to make sense of what the kids are into these days by analyzing the most popular songs of the day via the Billboard Hot 100 list as seen through the lens of a couple of old guys who know a thing or two about a thing or two. He's called Chris Hall, and I'm called James Avella, and we may be older, but we used to be younger. And there are millions and trillions.
Usually we have an old guy right there. I should have. Oh, these kids today. All right, go for it.
Millions of podcasts out there. We are proud to say that we are absolutely 100% guaranteed or your money back to be
One of them. Of them.
of them. It's okay.
Yes.
We are live streaming this episode on July 3rd, 2022. So cultural references here a re-recording of this. But with that, away we go, Mr. Chris Hall. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm just living just another day in paradise,
Well, it's hard not to feel. It's not hard not to feel like you're in paradise when you're listening to the sultry sounds of Vegas.
Doja Cat, Vegas. So, which is totally appropriate for us because last week our Doja Cat episode came out and the Elvis movie came out, and So I mean, it's very timely. It's the first time we're ever timely on something. Is that amazing?
It's timely about something that's old and new again, because I was just going nuts over Elvis all of a sudden, all over again, or is this something that's here to stay? Like, I mean, I've been hearing about Elvis since the day I was born, and I feel like I'm going to be hearing about him until the day I die.
Well,
in some way, shape, or form.
Hopefully we'll hear about him till the day.
In a negative way. I just think it's very interesting so far that I have this whole movie out. Did you see the movie?
I did. I did not. I tried to watch it, and we watched the first 10 minutes of it, and it started to be interesting, but I was bootlegging it, and the quality of my bootleg was not very good. Hard to hear the sound. And then they threw a commercial. They threw a commercial in the middle of my bootleg. And then at that point, I was just like, I'm out. I'm not getting bootlegs for commercials, people.
That's a piracy finishing move right there. It's like it's not enough that you're getting it, but they're also going to put in an ad for what was the ad for? I'm super curious now.
Oh shoot.
I hope it was Bounty or Colgate.
I can't remember. It was not like a corporate. Yeah, freaking Procter and Gamble has they're paying thousands of dollars to get their money into bootleg TV. Yeah.
You need Tylenol because you need to take care of the headache that you're going to have after trying to figure out.
Yeah. Well. And I mean, the audio for this thing was horrible. So we had the audio cranked up because the bootleg was just somebody filming it in the theater in China, right? Because it was you had all the subtitles underneath what everybody was saying. So, and then on this bootleg, they would always advertise a casino. Online casino. So you'd be watching it and then it'd be like, go to Joe's online casino. And then it kind of took you out of the element for sure. So
there's kind of a connection there, Golden Palace. You got stuff that's gambling. Vegas. It's Elvis.
It got us back to Vegas. Got us back to Vegas, and it got us back to Doja Cat. So what'd you think of the song?
It's definitely a song that exists, and it's a song that people can listen to.
People are listening to it.
The way that the sample is used in it, it's very old Kanye West to me.
Oh yeah, no, I had the same thought. Like she ain't nothing but a gold digger, right? Broke, right? I had the same thought.
That's what it was. Yeah, because
yeah.
And you articulated it perfectly. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
That's what it was. And it's funny because that Gold Digger song came out right after What the heck's his name? It's not. I was gonna say Jay Z, but it's not Jay Z. Uh, Jamie Foxx. So okay, that came
Oh
out right
yeah, he
after
was on the.
Jamie Foxx had did the Ray Charles movie. Um, and so it was kind of like, you had gone through this whole, saw that movie and heard Jamie Foxx sing. It was very like current at the time. And then Kanye West comes out with his song with Jamie Foxx doing his, thing on there.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, it was very timely. And I like that song. Do you like that, Kanye West song?
The Gold Digger song.
Yeah. She
Uh,
give
I
me
I
money, what I
I had no.
need.
Before I even knew who Kanye West was, I think I did like it, and I think I liked it a lot. Really heard it was at a house party, and the people
Mhm,
playing it had a really great sound system. So the
mhm.
bass sounded fantastic on it, and I thought that whatever the song was, again, didn't know who anybody was. I thought that it was awesome, and whoever made it was like a producing genius because it
Right.
sounded really really good.
Yeah, it sounded good, and it has, like, such a good up-tempo beat, you know?
Hmm.
Like, I don't know, really enjoy that song. I cannot say really
Yeah.
enough because I really did like that song. So,
But we're not talking about Kanye West. We're talking about Miss Doja Cat, who.
yeah, Do
So did you get to the part in the movie where this song appears? I'm assuming it's from that it's in the movie somewhere since it's from the original motion picture soundtrack Elvis.
I did not get to that
Okay.
part. So, I can maybe the song so we are gonna have to throw that caveat out there. Like maybe this song just like really plays well with the movie. Maybe like Doja Cat was watching like the Vegas movie and she was just feeling it, taking it all in, and she's like, for this scene, I'm feeling my Vegas song, you know,
Right?
with this hound dog sample in here. So, but
Yeah. It could have been one of those things like the Godzilla soundtrack. A whole lot of music inspired by, which is just people who are on the same label that is owned by the same production company that also owns whoever made the movie to get them on a soundtrack to get them out there. Um, but
right.
I by actually using an Elvis tune in it. 'Cause
Right.
it's this whole Boz Luhrmann thing of like the Moulin Rouge ness
Mhm.
of taking old songs and like remixing them and all that stuff. It was really cool in like the early aughts, but I don't know. Even at the time, I kind of felt like I was too old for
Well,
it.
in the first 10 minutes, they did have an Elvis song on the
Okay,
radio, and then they
song.
a real Elvis song, and then they
Okay.
threw a beat on top of it.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because like they always miss the point of these like older songs, right? Like they threw this beat down on it and it was like super slow, right? Because a lot of rap music, I mean, this
Mm,
song's really slow. This
it
Vegas
is.
song.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these rap tunes are just so slow. And, you know, like Elvis, I mean, early Elvis is it's punk music, you know? It's punk
Yeah.
music of that era. He's breaking the rules, he's rocking it hard, it's fast. He's doing it, right? I mean, it's not a blues song. I mean those early songs, like and the one that I was hearing, it's not a
Yeah.
blues song, you know. It's not a slow song. Like Hound Dog is, I mean, the original lady was a blues artist, but like when Elvis did it was rock and roll. He was rocking it. It was upbeat. It was in your face. He was breaking
Hmm.
all the rules. And, I feel like they missed the point of that. And when they like, oh, we're gonna remix it, slow it down, and throw a drop a beat on it. It's
Yeah.
not supposed to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
slow. It's supposed to be rocking. It's rock and roll, baby. So
Yeah. But again, it's like they have to reimagine it, and I think it just style of the artist covering it because the Doja Cat, not so
right.
punk rock, not so fast, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
and that's another thing about this tune that I feel like she missed the boat on is that she didn't really. I mean, it's not a cover, she just like
Yeah.
sampled Hound Dog, not even the Elvis Hound Dog, you know. The samples like Big Mama Thornton, like I guess she
That's her
was like a
name.
blues artist that
That's
like
awesome.
originally did the song before Elvis did it, which I
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
so what, right? I mean, I don't care
Well, I
about
mean,
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I mean, like, yeah. And so anyway, so she just grabbed that sample and like you said, I really think that she was going for that Kanye West vibe.
Hmm.
And I mean, I mean, we're old guys, so our opinion does not matter one bit one bit. But
They didn't make it for us.
I love like Dwight Yoakam. Going back to Dwight Yoakam, everything goes back to Dwight. When
Right.
Dwight does a cover, like he's got a bunch of covers, got a bunch of cover albums.
He's done the Elvis
He
covers.
takes the song how it is, and then he makes it Dwight. And it's like a perfect combination of you're like, oh, this is Dwight Yoakam, and this is the original song, right?
Hmm.
And he does a really great job at this. This song is not an Elvis song, one bit.
That's what's so.
And I mean, and it is a Doja Cat song, but like I don't know enough about Doja Cat. The last time we talked about her, which was this week, for anyone who listened to old guys on new music this week, I thought her song sounded like Rihanna. So now I go from I have a my experience with Doja Cat is she like wants to be like Rihanna and she wants to be like Kanye West. That's what I got.
Well, those are very, very successful artists. So those
I
aren't.
mean,
Those are
if you're
not bad
gonna
idols to
copy
have.
someone, copy the best, right?
Exactly.
Right?
It is so strange though because it's not an Elvis. It's kind of like if she had just called it something else and just used the Elvis sample or used a sample of the original. Like it just would have been a whole other thing, and it really would have anything to do with this
Yeah.
movie or
The
Elvis. It could
only
have just
yeah,
been
yeah. The only thing that attaches this song to the movie is it's on the soundtrack.
there. You go.
That's it. And like I mean, she called it Vegas. I mean,
Hmm.
but you know what? Like, hopefully, a Frank Sinatra movie doesn't come out because she could take this song, throw it on the Frank Sinatra biopic, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh man, there you go."
They could do it for all of them. They could do it for Sinatra and Tom Jones and Engelbert Humperdinck, and they just like go all the way down the line, all the
Right.
classics.
Oh, jeez.
Well, like,
So,
okay, so we talked about the production a little bit. What about lyrics?
yeah.
Did you get
So,
anything out of this?
yeah. I mean, I cannot understand what the hell she was talking about,
Me neither.
but based off of the internet, went on the internet, they said that it like it's about like a woman and like a dude like who's like trying to like kind of skis on her and she's kind of like oh yeah going based off of more of the original version of the Hound Dog, the Big Mama version, where
Uh-huh.
it's like in a female's perspective and it's kind of like hey, stop being such a skeezy, you loser. I'm a woman power, get away
Uh-huh.
from me. That's what I
Woman,
got.
woman, woman.
Right, woman. There you go. That's what I got out of the lyrics.
I don't. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. I was probably gonna switch gears right there.
No, I'm just looking at some of the lyrics that I missed the first couple of times I heard it, and a lot of these just seem very, very normal stuff. The story I'm gonna tell everybody had your ass sitting courtside with your arm. Um, doesn't sound very Elvisy. Uh, sounds very Doja Catty. So again, this whole thing, it's a Doja Cat song. Just happens to be
It's a
in a.
yeah. I mean, and then a lot of people out there on the internet were kind of like reading into the fact that she used like the original sample of this Big Mama lady rather than using the Elvis sample,
Mm-hmm.
and like they kind of took it as like a like what is it when people like take like a cultural thing, right? They like
Like
steal the
appropriation.
yeah, appropriation. So they were like, "Oh, she did that because Elvis is like, you know,
Oh God, like all that.
appropriation or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
right?" So,
yeah. Taking it back.
right, they're taking it back, right? Although like I mean, it's freaking music, right? I mean, did Elvis really
Right.
appropriate, anything? A guy, a
I
bunch of
mean, and
people
also that's
danced and he danced and,
I just I don't know. Like I love. I mean, we love Elvis around here.
mm,
But I mean, I think that's giving him a little bit too much um, credit of authority. I think because the door down studio and said we are ripping off every black artist that I've ever heard in my life right now.
right,
You jerks are gonna record it, and I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna steal all this music. Right? Like he would never freaking do that. There's no way that he did that. I mean, he was
right,
really more of like a Britney Spears. Like he kind of because he I mean he never wrote music. He just was
right.
just he was just a cool
And,
guy.
and this hound dog was written by two white dudes,
Oh, there you go.
right? So I mean, yeah, I mean, other than like it's like hound dog, somebody. I mean, I guess it's just his vibe, but like,
Hmm.
I mean, if it wasn't Elvis, it would have been somebody else. And let me tell you
Exactly.
something. If Elvis didn't exist, we wouldn't be talking about Big Mama today. We wouldn't be talking about,
Mhm.
I mean, anybody really.
Right.
You
Or
know,
it would have been done by somebody who was not as good of a singer and was not as charismatic on
right?
stage. It just would have been
Exactly.
lesser, and then it wouldn't have been. There would be no like this. There would just be. We have a king of pop. We have Godfather Soul, and we would have no rock and roll. It would just be a bunch of guys or a bunch of girls who are
Right.
like purposely like just kind of stealing stuff, but not as good of a performer.
Exactly.
And they
I
may have been
mean,
more
and
malicious about it too.
right. I mean, and like to say something like that Elvis is just a copycat. I mean, it really just I really takes away from like the guy had like a 20 plus year career. He's a great
Hmm.
singer. And then I mean, if Doja Cat is actually really like trying to make a statement on this, she's probably not. I mean,
I don't think so.
she makes her statements on Twitter, bringing back the Mexican pizza. Um, did you hear about that one?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's where she makes her statements. So I don't think she's making any statements. But I mean, Elvis is a great singer, and anyone from this generation that's gonna like, throw shade on like anyone from that older generation,
Hmm.
like Elvis had to be a good singer. I mean, today they just look for the prettiest face and then they auto tune it.
Yeah, you can fix them in post, but if they
Yeah,
look good, then that's really more that matters. But he was the whole package. He could
right.
he could pitch the game and then bat in the game and win the game.
Yeah. I mean, freaking, he's a babe.
And look good doing it.
Right. There you
I
go.
mean, a lot of people forget it's not just one thing. Like it's a whole package. Like he was
Mhm.
Elvis because of everything. Like he brought nobody else could or had at the time, and you know can't bring him down for that.
You can't bring him down. Yeah, and it's
Little
interesting.
sister.
I mean, also covered by Dwight Yoakam, and Dwight Yoakam made it his own. Man, I just went full circle on that baby.
We have to do a
Oh,
special Dwight Yoakam show. Just nothing but
we
Dwight.
just Dwight all night. That's what it's gonna be called.
His music and his the Jason Statham movies and
Oh yeah,
Sling
and
Blade. We'll just
Sling Blade, and there's that one that like I think it's like called like Southwest something or other, where he actually like directed it, acted it, wrote it, something
whoa,
crazy, did the
that's
soundtrack.
awesome.
Oh, it's got Billy Bob Thornton in there. Speaking of, I mean, right there, Big Mama Thornton, Billy Bob Thornton, right there. We just went right back,
Oh, there you
pulled
go.
you
We
right
just tied it
back
all
in.
together.
All these things, just there's that's the Dwight Yoakam to Elvis in one step.
Oh
Uh,
man, if this I didn't get around to checking this out, I just assumed
yes,
that it was
there
going to
was a
be
music video, and
Mm.
it's basically Doja Cat dancing in a kind of like auditorium in like the 50s or something, kind of like they would be grooving to rock and roll back in those days, all sweaty
Gotcha.
and whatnot, dancing, all that good
Okay.
stuff.
I'm checking it out right now, and I like how it starts out like an Elvis movie with the big title at the front. But
Hmm.
it's, I mean, it
I mean,
looks
it
good.
looks good. I
It looks
mean,
it
it,
looks fantastic. Cinematography
it
is on point.
yeah, they always look good. It's more about. I mean, I always feel like these videos are just more about like trying to make Doja Cat look sexy and whatnot, right? I mean, I
Hmm.
think that's kind of the goal. The
Product
actress.
placement.
Oh, what was the product placement?
It looks like some sort of makeup.
Okay,
Maybe it's
and then
hers. I don't know.
they had the actress who played this lady who sang the original Hound Dog. She was in this video, so they
Oh,
pulled
okay.
her in.
That's cool.
So yeah, I mean, I
I
don't
mean,
have
it
much.
looks. Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks very. Again, it's shot beautifully. Like this
right,
looks really great. But
yeah,
I think, I mean, I don't know. We grew up with, you know, those and Busta Rhymes videos and things that were like almost purposely weird and like
right.
conceptual. Um, it
Which I
didn't matter
which
what the
I
genre was; they were
which
weird.
I love.
Yeah, me too, and I miss that.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure
I
they're
mean,
still
I
out
don't
there.
think that would fit with this song.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, especially when like there's barely any ties to Elvis other than like, you know, like it's on the soundtrack. I mean, this kind of maybe, but again, with the no ties to Elvis, this video, you would have thought they would have thrown some clips of the movie in there, right? Do they not
Yeah,
do that
seriously.
anymore?
Like going back to Godzilla when Puff Daddy was doing the Kashmir cover, or whatever the heck that song was, where like
Right.
CGI'd in the damn lizard, and he's
Right.
like singing at the lizard, like it's cheesy as hell, but it was at least tied into what the song was
Right.
made for or why it exists in the first place. But
Freaking.
it's
Yeah. It's just it's as if like she didn't even want to be on the soundtrack. And I wonder if they didn't use the Elvis sample for money reasons. I always wonder this, right? Like
yeah, yeah,
cuz like if you get Elvis on there, you're going to have to pay the Elvis like
it's a
whatever,
lot. Yeah,
Lisa
Elvis
Marie
songs are
some money.
super expensive to use in movies.
Priscilla or whoever gets the money. Yeah, they're gonna get their. While I really doubt that
Well,
this cut from Big Mama is gonna
hmm
they're gonna charge that much, right? Nobody's gonna be sampling this really.
not not
So
not not really. For some reason, I thought that Michael Jackson had something to do with owning the catalog, but I was thinking of the Beatles, and then I started thinking
okay,
about like whatever happened to that because he's dead now. So who owns the Beatles now?
I gotta well, and yeah, I gotta imagine like Elvis. I mean, he obviously he didn't write the songs, so.
Yeah,
s- s-
yes.
Yeah, but he does get a cut. I just read about this. Like Elvis has like had a really good publishing deal. And he did get a cut of the writers on it. That was like
Hmm.
one of the things that like the Colonel got into his publishing deal, that like he got a cut of the writing on it. So,
Interesting.
yeah. So, I in
Huh.
with the Elvis stuff, I always find Elvis like kind of weird, right? Because we grew up in the generation of things have to be like hard, you know. And I've told you this before. Our we were coming out of the '80s with like Motley Crue wearing makeup and Winger doing something, and
Winger.
that wasn't gonna fly in the '90s, right? So we got like Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins, and
Right.
they were like real and they were hard, you know. And then like we came out of like Fresh Prince of Bel Air rap of the 80s, and then our rap had to be hard and real, and it had to be gangster, you
Mm.
know? And so, like, anything like the Elvis stuff, which was like, especially his, movie era songs and late or early 70s jumpsuit era,
Hmm.
was a little bit of cheese ball, right? And and so like I feel that like that whole generation just kind of like that's where Elvis started to go down, right? People just started not giving him as much respect as he should because of the cheese ball factor. Like,
Well,
you
yeah. I
know.
mean, he was spending most of his time like, yeah, in Vegas, like crooning to old people in those jumpsuits, and he was high as hours a day. And I don't know. It was kind of a sad ending, I thought. But yeah, he doesn't. But even then, his voice, like, it didn't really matter how high he was or what he was doing. Like, he always sounded
Right. And
fantastic.
well, and I'm not really like talking about his music as much as like, yeah, his image. The image of Elvis made him when the 90s came around and there was a big you got to be real
Well,
legit, it kind of
yeah.
made that generation like anti-Elvis. That's what I think. That's my thought.
Like Elvis as a concept, like everything that
Elvis
he
is a
represented.
concept.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's so weird that you bring up the Nirvana thing because Nevermind came out in 1991. Like it's kind of hard to realize that it came out so early in that decade.
Hmm.
And then the second Motley Crue never existed. Like it's like the entire country just switched. How that happened. But Elvis, hell of a guy.
Elvis. So, all right. Well, do we got anything more to say on this Vegas song? We talked more
I
about
think
Elvis than we
yeah.
did the Vegas song.
I think that says
But I mean,
everything.
Elvis is way more, yeah, way more interesting.
And we've already talked about Miss Doja Cat. Like we've already gone through all this, so we already know enough about her. And I respect her. I think their stuff is good. It's just not entirely my thing, but um,
Well, I mean, there was the one thing that I saw in the interview, and I talked about like, um, yes, Elvis does live. um, sorry, Amanda wrote Elvis lives out in our comments.
it's my
He's
next
out there,
tattoo.
so he's out there somewhere, folks, right next to Sasquatch, cruising the
Oh my
sequoias.
god! Do you remember that in the '80s and early '90s? Like when that was kind of a joke. Like I remember my mother would be like, "Oh yeah, I just saw Elvis at 7-Eleven. He was like, it was like a weird. It was always that type of stuff was always happening. I don't know why I thought that was funny, but yeah, Elvis is alive. The king is
Have
alive.
have have you seen the movie Bubba Hotep?
No, I've
It,
seen that on the on the carousel though a million times, and I always keep
oh,
meaning to go back to it.
you gotta watch it. Yeah, it's like Bruce Campbell.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
yeah, he's in like a mental facility and he thinks he's Elvis. So
Okay.
and then like
Is it a
yeah, and
horror
then
movie?
his yeah, it is a horror. Well, it's
Is it
a
like goofy
horror
horror?
movie. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
No, that sounds Bubba
Um
Hotep. I like that name too.
yeah. Good name. That's our film recommendation of the week. I forget where we going to. Were we going to talk about turn it up and turn it down, or
Well, we have no ad this, so we can't.
sorry guys? No,
We're
next
losing
time we'll get a
sponsors.
live. We'll get a live ad for you.
But if we go to the ratings on this one, I'm turning this one off. I don't really feel like I ever want to hear this again. It was fine. It was fine to get this conversation going.
Right.
Um, but I think I've had enough Doja Cat in my life.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it. I'm gonna turn it off too.
Yeah.
So I
Cool.
mean, it's funny because I hate saying that after you said it because now it makes me look like a poser and a follower. But
Why?
I don't
Never.
know.
You have the same
It's
reasons I
like
do.
I don't know. Now I feel like a total poser because I copied you. I feel like I should have been like, "Yo, man, I'm
We're
out.
individuals.
Yeah." But I mean, so one thing I did want to mention is that because you were
Mm.
saying like, "Oh, you respect Doja Cat and she's so wonderful and all that good
That's what I
stuff.
said. I said I love her. I said she's great.
You love her.
She's
You love
winning
her. You're
every
gonna turn the
award.
music off, but you love
Yep.
her.
Yep. She's great. She's fantastic. Love her.
I mean,
Anyway, go
I
ahead.
mean, she's cool to hang out at Taco Bell, have your beef Mexican and the Mexican
I love
pizza
it.
with.
Because of her, I had two of those in like 1 week
Oh
after
man,
not
you know what?
having
I
had
went to
one in
Taco
forever.
Bell a couple days ago. It was sold out. The
Oh yeah,
Mexican
they're sold
pizza
out for
was.
the summer. They said they're not going to come back until the fall.
What does that even mean? Like what?
I
They
have
ran
no
out of
idea.
like tomatoes or tostadas? What does that mean? Oh
They
jeez.
ran out of
Trying.
beans. Like I really don't know what it means. I think place was because of the packaging, right? The box was like super specialized, and that was like really expensive to mass produce.
Is that what it was? I
Recycle them or
just
something
they've
weird.
Taco Bell. They've ruined so much. They used to have a lot of things on the menu, and they've slowly
Hmm.
like eliminated like all of them down to like a taco. Now we're just down to one taco and it's some weird wrap thing that they wrap up looks like a frisbee.
Yeah,
Like
but the thing is, though, they get rid of things even though they're all made from the same like 7 ingredients. Like you
yeah,
have the stuff to make these things. Just make them. Like
yeah.
why can't you just make them? The only thing they make is the bell beefer, which used to be my favorite. I
Oh man, I have no idea what that is. Maybe is
Oh
that
dude, you missed out. The bell beefer
oh
was amazing. It was basic. It was like a hamburger.
oh
It had like shredded cheese and onions, and it was on a bun, kind of like a torta, I guess.
oh man, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm a beef Mexi-Melt fan myself. You ever have that?
No, I have not. I used to like the grilled stuffed burrito. That was another
I
one of my favorites.
I mean, basically beef Mexi-Melt is like you got like, it's like soft taco, no lettuce, melted cheese, and like
Hardcore.
like a salsa kind of thing going in there. And there you go, size of a taco. It's pretty good.
The
At
double
one
decker
point they
taco, that was great.
oh man, Amanda likes the nacho cheese chalupa.
Nacho cheese chalupa. That sounds really good.
Disgusting.
I love that we went two over different ways.
We went two different well,
The gordita and chalupas were awesome. I liked both of those.
yeah. But back to what I was originally saying before we got off track here. Like, you know what threw me off? In the Doja Cat episode, I told you oh no, she meant the cheese gordita crunch. That's the one that she liked.
All right, everybody in chat, name your.
Yeah,
We're
everybody
gonna we're gonna rate those.
throw them up in chat and we're on it. Okay. In the last episode, she had said something about, her boyfriend gave her a keyboard and she was kind of like, oh, well, why not? I'm not
Oh
doing
yeah.
anything. I'm going to so that just made me think that like, she's not into music. Probably like has no idea. She probably didn't even know anything about Elvis. Probably couldn't even name one Elvis song. And then they approached her, and then somebody's like, "Oh, you gotta do an Elvis song," and then somebody's like, "Oh yeah, use this sample. We'll make it like Kanye West." Oh, great idea. Let's move it.
Mhm.
You know, I wish I'd like to see an interview with her where she's like, "Oh, I really enjoyed Elvis movies. That's why I did the soundtrack." I'd like. Is it too much? This is what I want from the music industry. I want these artists to be passionate about making music and to actually really some artists, and be like, oh,
Mhm.
I really love Whitney Houston, or something. So, all right. So in the chat, are you seeing the chat right now, Jam?
I am not seeing the chat. I'm relying on
Okay.
you to tell me what the chat is.
Okay. So we got like Dorothy likes nachos.
Okay. Just
Let's
plain
see.
nachos, nothing. Just the chip.
I'm assuming, yeah. I'm gonna say Nacho Bel Grande. That's what I'm gonna go with because the
Mm.
regular nachos suck. So the nachos Bel Grande. We got uh Willie here likes the quesadilla or the cheese roll,
Oh, that's a good
and
one.
and Harvey likes the quesadilla. I'm
Just
a
the plain
quesadilla
quesadilla, no
fan.
meat.
Yeah, no meat, just straight cheese. What do you think about the cheese quesadilla? Because it has that weird sauce on it. You like the weird sauce?
No, I don't. I don't like the quesadillas.
Oh, dang.
Unless
Is the
it's I mean, to me, it might as well just get a burrito, put some meat in it, and roll it
okay?
up instead of keep it flat.
So you like the meat aspect of it?
I
That's
just
what
don't.
you're.
Yeah, I just don't like. I don't like cheese and bread. I guess unless it's pizza. I guess now I get pizzas. Mexican pizza. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I like the quesadilla because I actually do like the weird sauce that they put on it. So
I
they
must miss
do
the
like
sauce then.
there's like it's like yeah, there's some weird like Santa Fe. It's like cheese, weird Santa Fe sauce in a tortilla, right? So, but
Um.
it,
Okay.
it
Go off about Taco Bell forever.
yeah, we could. I was about to like
We're
wrap it up. Are you all right wrapping it up, or did you want
I
to?
think I
It's
because we've
okay.
given our what are we doing next week though for the
Okay,
people that
so
were
coming out this Tuesday, we got our buddy Morgan Wallen, "Wasted on You." That's coming out this coming Tuesday, and you should all check it out because my my voice, my when I went on The Voice, my audition was on that show, I believe. So check that one out, and you can always contact us. Jam, how do they do that?
well they can go to old guys everywhere wherever you're at whatever social just search old guys new music but you can also email us directly if you want some of that one-on-one communication. I am at jamesmusic.com.
And I'm at chrisoldguysmusic.com. And to close this out, uh, we do have one more question in the chat.
Okay.
Elvis's favorite thing at Taco Bell. What are you thinking? I mean, if they had a peanut butter
I was gonna say
banana thing,
has to be whatever it is. So
over in Sherman Oaks, related to Doja Cat because she lived in Sherman Oaks, um,
weird.
there was that hot dog place by the Cadillac dealer, and they
Uh-huh.
had an Elvis hot dog. It was a dessert hot dog, and it was
Mm.
just basically a hot dog bun. I didn't have it. I just read the items, the ingredients, but it was like a hot dog bun, peanut butter, bananas, and what honey, right? That's what Elvis liked. Honey was on
Do
there.
you like honey? I don't remember the honey.
Okay, maybe there's no honey on it. We'll have to do some research.
That's
But
crazy that happened because do you know the restaurant 4 and 20, I think is called? There are a couple of them, but
oh
there's one
yeah,
on the
the pie
boulevard.
place.
Yeah,
The
they had
yeah.
something there called the um or maybe I'm thinking of maybe I'm thinking of Mel's, but they had
Okay.
and it was basically just a scramble chorizo. That was it. That's pretty much all that
Like
made it
did
Elvis.
I wonder if Elvis liked that. We have an Elvis cookbook at our house, so I'll have to
Oh, are you
look.
hungry tonight?
I think so. Yeah. Do you
Okay,
have
I have
that?
that too. Yeah, that's in my kitchen.
Oh, look at us. Look at us. Well, thanks. Thanks everybody for checking us out on our live show
You want to sing us
and
out?
yeah. Yeah. See y'all later.